Namaste everybody, and welcome to this short flow sequence. This sequence is perfect for post work or post flight. It's going to help stretch out the fronts of our hip flexors. It's going to help open our shoulders and the front of the chest and help us to breathe a little bit deeper and a little bit more fully. We're also going to work on some grounding positions. So to start with, coming into simple cross-legged with your right leg in front, take a moment to close your eyes and release the shoulders down the back. Taking a nice deep breath in, and take your weight forwards and backwards slightly, and then just gently from side to side. Feeling the base of your body nice and heavy, and feel the spine reaching up towards the sky. Noticing any feeling or sensation on the surface of your skin, and checking in with yourself today. Seeing how you feel. Noticing how it feels just to sit here and breathe. Then let's take the hands to the heart, pressing the fingers together, drawing the shoulders down the back, and then beginning to rub the hands, making a bit of heat, and then take the palms over your eyes, closing the eyes or keeping them closed, and then open into darkness, releasing the hands down. Take the palms together, taking the hands together at the heart, press into the fingers and lift the chest a little bit here, then interlacing the fingers and sending the heels of the hands away. So from here it's really important to try and draw the shoulders back and down and keep the front of the body and the back of the body lifted, inhaling, lifting up. So taking the little finger side down and taking the thumb side up, and this is going to get you a really nice stretch in the fronts of the arms. Try not to pop the ribs here, draw the ribs back so we get an equal stretch up the front of the body, the side of the body and the back of the body. There's a wonderful stretch from the fingertips and the thumbs all the way up the arms. Exhaling, coming down, and then we're going to change the cross of the fingers, so just move them one along, again stretching the heels of the hands away, draw the shoulders back, and then lifting the hands, feeling a lovely stretch all the way up the front of the body, sides of the body and the back of the body, and then releasing all the way down. Now take a moment to repeat the previous movements, feeling the stretch. And we'll start to move through the neck, inhaling, lifting the head, and then exhaling, chin to chest. A couple more times here, inhaling, lifting, exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, chin to chest, and then beginning to roll the chin along the chest, feeling the sides of the neck stretch out. And take hold of the right ear with the middle finger of the left hand, gently allowing the hand to open the neck, but without pulling on the neck, and then extend out the right hand and make a nice sweeping movement along your mat like you're drawing an arch. And then, depending on your neck, finding the point where you feel that you get the most stretch. So it might be at the front, the side or the back. Just experimenting here, and see if you can really reach into your fingertips, and you should be able to feel a stretch all the way from the side of your ear all the way down the arm. Imagine you're breathing in to the neck And you might like to close your eyes here and take a few deep breaths. And then releasing the chin down, rolling it over to the other side, and we'll take it onto the other side. So right hand comes up, holds the middle of the left ear, stretching the left hand away and making a nice arch with the hand. And again, stopping at a point where you feel you're getting the maximum stretch. You might like to close the eyes and really breathe in like you're breathing directly into the side of your neck. Then from here, taking both hands behind the back of the neck, interlacing the fingers. See if you can use the heels of the hand under the occipital ridge, the point where the skull meets the neck, and lift up nice and tall. Feel the whole front of the body stretch and the back of the body. And then taking the chin towards your chest, stretching out the back of the neck and the upper shoulders. And then releasing the hands here. We're going to continue moving through the spine, but first we're going to take the shoulder movements. So let's bring the elbows together, inhaling, lifting, and exhaling, drawing the shoulders back. So 3 movements with the breath. And then reversing the movements, bringing the elbows together, 3 movements the other way. And then we're going to see if we can move the elbows in opposite directions. So bring the elbows together and then just send them off in opposite directions. And often people get a little bit confused by this movement. So if you get confused, bring them together, send them off in opposite directions. And this is a fantastic movement for the shoulders. When we've gone 3 times that way, we can reverse and go 3 times the other way. Moving with the breath as always. Good. Now take some time to repeat the previous movements through the shoulders, moving slowly with the breath like you're oiling the joints. Breathe into the front of the breastbone, and then we're going to stretch out the legs. So from here, let's inhale to lift up. We're going to move through the spine. Exhale, right hand to the left toe. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, left hand to the right toe. Nice twist through the spine. Moving with your breath. So inhaling to lift and exhaling to twist. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to twist. Inhaling to lift up. This time we're going to go over to the right side and we're going to lift the left hand. Exhaling. Inhaling. Sweeping, opening and exhaling and inhaling. And then next time we take the left hand down, we're going to sweep the right hand and we're going to make 3 big circles just to really open up the side of the body. You can watch the thumb as you move the hand to get a bit more movement and stretch in the neck. And the next time take the right hand over and move through the left thumb. Again, you can stretch and move the neck by watching the thumb, and then taking both hands together, point your fingertips back, and again we're going to move through the legs now. So let's take 3 big circles through the ankles. When we sit for a long time, we accumulate fluid in the joints, so this is just going to help to move that fluid. And then we're going to go 3 times the other way. Then we're going to point the toes and flex the toes. So as we're doing these movements, see if you can make them really mindful. So see where you can feel the movement originating from. Can you feel it from your knees? You might even be able to feel it from the calves. Then we're going to turn the feet inwards, that you're trying to turn the whole inside edge of your feet in, and you should be feeling this on the outside edge. And then we're going to reverse it, and you should be feeling this on the inside edge. So a couple of more times. And then giving the legs a nice bit of a release, holding underneath your knees and taking the feet in. From here we're going to move on to all fours, so coming round on your mat, pointing the fingers forwards and taking your knees underneath your hips. So we'll start the next part of the sequence with the knees wide, toes together, just coming into a little child's pose. So resting the forehead on your hands, and see if you can nuzzle down your hips into the floor. And we'll take a few moments here to breathe into this child's pose. So inhaling and exhaling, feeling the ground beneath us. Feeling like we've arrived back into ourselves. And then from here, coming to all fours. So set your fingers underneath your shoulders and the knees underneath your hips. Resetting the hands by giving them a little shake out. And if you get any wrist problems, you can always do these movements on your wrists, on your elbows, and that's something just to note. Good. So the first movement is just to take the head up and the tail up, and then to drop it. So your classic cat and cow. So inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the tail. Exhaling, reversing, looking towards the navel. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the tail. So that's the first movement. The second movement we're going to do, I describe it as scraping the barrel. And we're going to take our ribs over to the right, and then you're going to take your ribs up, and then you're going to take your ribs to the left. So if you were going to see this movement from sitting, you take your ribs to the right, to the back, and then to the left. So really just moving and making these big circles with the ribs. And then again we can do it from all fours, and we can reverse it, so ribs to the left, up, and then to the right and down. So you can imagine if your torso was stuck inside a barrel, you're trying to scrape all the inside of the barrel. So that's the second movement. The third movement, you can imagine you've got a pencil on your nose, on the tip of the nose, and you're going to draw a big figure of 8 movement with that pencil. And you can make this movement small, or you can make it big. So it's a really nice sinewy snake-like movement, and then you can reverse it coming round the other way. So that's the third of these different movements. And then the fourth movement is through the hips, and you're going to start to just draw a circle with your hips. And this is a fantastic movement for the lower back, and often when we sit all day we tend to compress the lower back. So if you've got any lower back issues, I'd really recommend this movement, and you can reverse it. And then the final movement we're going to do is a movement just through the head, so we can make some circles one way and we can circle the other way. So now I'm going to invite you just to spend a few moments exploring into all of these movements, so we can combine them and seeing what your body needs. So whether we do a bit of spiraling, a bit more of a cat and cow, or a bit more scraping the barrel type movement. But just really close your eyes in this segment. Imagine you can feel the sun on your skin and the breeze around you, and moving intuitively with your breath. See if you can feel like you're massaging all of your muscles and all of the fascia and the linking tissues. Nice deep breaths. And if you've been moving predominantly in one direction, maybe see what it feels like to move in the other direction. If you feel like you've got any tension in your head, see if you can just release the head a bit more. Really just enjoying these nice free movements. Good. And then coming to stillness. And just take a moment to feel the spine lovely and long. Next thing we're going to do is spread the hands nice and wide, take the knees underneath the hips, and then lifting your right leg and taking your right leg into the air and lifting your head, and then exhaling knee to nose. A couple more times here. Inhaling, lifting, looking to the third eye point, exhaling knee to nose. And last time, inhaling, lifting. Let's take it into a little balance. Take your left hand behind. See if you can reach your foot and then lifting up. So this is fantastic for the hip flexor. And then exhaling, stepping your right foot in between the hands. Make sure you move this foot forward enough so you feel that you get a good stretch in your back hip flexor. Then inhaling, looking up, exhaling, releasing, lifting the right toes. 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting, look to the third eye point, exhaling, releasing back. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, releasing back. And then 1 more time, inhaling, lifting. We're going to stay here. Really see if you can adjust this back foot. So you might like to tuck under the back toes, lift the knee, move it slightly back so you get more of a stretch in your hip flexor. Taking a few breaths here. Breathing into the tense parts and then exhaling, releasing back. Draw your hands back. If your hands don't meet the floor, you might like to take blocks either side, and we're going to flex the front foot and draw the nose down towards your shin, and you should feel a lovely stretch all the way down the back of your legs here. Then inhaling, releasing, walking forwards, hands underneath the shoulders, step back, come into either a mini plank or a full plank. Inhale here and then exhale down to your Sphinx pose. Have your elbows underneath your shoulders. Make sure you can draw a line between your middle finger and the elbow, and your elbow should be at right angles. Pressing down through your hands, zip the legs together. Inhaling, press into the forearms, and then exhale, draw the forearms back and see if you can lift your chest. And this is a fantastic movement if you've been sitting at a desk all day or on an aeroplane hunched over. So we're helping to open the front of the body and take a nice gentle back bend, and then exhaling, hands all the way down, forehead on the hands, and give your hips a bit of a wiggle from side to side to release any tension in your hips. And take a moment to have 3 breaths here, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling with a sigh, and 1 more time, inhaling, exhaling with a sigh. Then take your hands either side of your chest, inhale, part your knees, exhale, take your bum back towards your heels, and a lovely stretch, your child's pose. Taking a lovely stretch in your child's pose. Inhaling, coming back to all fours, and we're going to repeat that all to the left side. Inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the left leg, exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling, lifting, looking to the third eye point, exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling, lifting, and then exhaling, knee to nose. Last time. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, stepping the foot in between the hands. You might need to shuffle the foot forward a little bit, so we make sure we're getting a stretch on this back hip flexor. Inhaling to the third eye point, exhaling, releasing backwards. 2 more times. Inhaling, third eye point, exhaling back. And last time, inhaling. Spending a few minutes here again if you need to have blocks, and we really want to focus on stretching this back hip flexor. Take a few breaths here, and then releasing down, forehead towards your shins, feeling a stretch all the way down the back edge of this left leg, and then coming all the way forward, once again stepping into your mini plank or your full plank, and then down to your Sphinx pose. This time in Sphinx pose, take your head over to your right, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale to the center and exhaling to the left. Inhaling to the center and exhaling, and then taking the head back, releasing the head on the floor, giving the hips a bit of a shake. Then take your hands either side of your chest and pushing it all the way back into your child's pose again, resting your forehead on the hands. And taking a few moments here just to release down and feel the floor. We'll now be concluding with Shavasana and some breathing techniques. Feel free to take as long as you like with these. So we're going to finish this evening's practice in a gorgeous 3-part yogic breath. You might decide to stay in Shavasana for this practice, so if you'd like to, just remain lying down with the knees bent or the knees straight, depending on how it feels for your lower back. If you'd like to come up to sitting for this evening's pranayama, breathing and meditation practice, just come to a comfortable seated position, taking a moment to adjust the weight from side to side and backwards and forwards, and then gently lowering and then closing your eyes. Release your shoulders down the back by just giving them a little raise towards the ears, and then take them down the back, and make sure the elbows are relaxed by the side of the waist. You can take the first finger and the thumb together into your Ghana mudra, or the mudra of knowledge, and you can have the hands facing down. If you prefer, you can take the hands together in the lap with the thumbs touching and the fingers just resting one on top of the other. So keeping the eyes closed, taking a moment to come into your breath. And then we're going to move the hands and take them onto the lower belly. Have the middle fingers touching, just touching, and then as you inhale, breathing deep down into the belly, releasing the belly, and then exhaling, the middle fingers just touch. So as you inhale, the middle fingers part just a millimetre or two, and as you exhale, the middle fingers come back to touching. So while we're here, just being completely aware of the breath in the belly and trying to relax the belly. Next, moving your hands up to your ribs, take the backs of the fingers or the fingernail side and rest them gently on the side of your ribs. Inhaling, feeling the ribs widen and part, and exhaling, feeling everything releasing down. So being fully aware of the breath right in the middle of the torso, in the ribs. Inhaling and exhaling. And then taking the fingers up to the collarbones, spread the fingers wide so the little finger touches almost to the heart and the thumb touches the inside edge of the shoulders. And really focusing on bringing the breath up into your heart. Lifting the collarbones on the inhale and feeling the shoulders move back and down on the exhale. And then from here, taking one hand back to the belly, leaving the other hand where it is, and focusing on inhaling first into the belly, then feel the inhale move into the ribs, and then inhaling all the way up to the collarbones, and then exhaling down, inhaling belly, ribs, collarbones, and then exhaling ribs and belly. So once you've got this sense of the breath moving through these three parts, you can take the top hand back to your bottom hand and just rest the hands in your lap or in the Ghana mudra, and continue the awareness of the breath in your belly, in your ribs and in your collarbones, and then exhaling ribs, collarbones and belly. And then leaving the awareness of the three parts, just be fully aware of the breath, full and long and deep, and being aware of the release of any tension, any holding on the exhale. So the inhale brings new life, new oxygen, new air, and the exhale releases tension. So whether you've been sitting on a plane or sitting at your desk for 8 hours, feeling the rejuvenating effect of this lovely, deep and full 3-part breath, your full yogic breath. And then allowing your attention just to wander away from the breath, being aware of any sensations within your body, and being aware of sensations on your skin, take your awareness to the sounds around you, and then coming back to yourself and your surroundings. Take all your awareness into your hands, and gradually, without opening the eyes, beginning to move the hands to form a prayer in front of your heart, being aware of the different sensations on your fingers and the feel and touch as your fingers come together, the feeling of the skin and the temperature of the skin, pressing the fingers lightly together. And as we started the practice, just rubbing the hands gently, and then take your palms over your eyes, opening into darkness, removing the palms, keeping the eyes nice and soft, smoothing down the temples and behind the back of the neck, and taking a deep smile and thanking yourself for taking the time to practice with me this evening, and taking the hands to the heart. Namaste everybody from beautiful Antigua. Here we are at the fort. Thank you for joining us here at this lovely special location. The sun is about to set here, so we run out of time for more filming, but we hope to bring you some more instructional content very soon from another beautiful place on the island, and we hope to see you soon. Namaste everybody, thank you very much for watching. Hari Om Tat Sat.